The connection between your thoughts and feelings is so strong that your emotional reaction to events can happen on autopilot without you even realizing it. And it's because of this that when you get caught in a cycle of worrying thoughts, that you can become increasingly more tense and anxious. For example, in a bar, a man who finds it hard to engage in conversation could start worrying about his appearance. This might even lead to him, creating a mental picture of himself as looking weird or shy. And actually, with time, he may even start to use these words to describe himself. So, as a result of his thought and mental picture, he could start to develop a cycle of social anxiety, which will actually make it harder for him to go to social settings or speak with new people anyway. Or take, for example, the woman who has headaches and starts to think to herself, well, this could be a tumor. Now, she'd naturally become more tense as her stress levels increase, with the added tension making her headaches worse. Now, this could lead to her thoughts becoming more intense and set in motion a cycle of increased worry and tension. So as you can imagine, in both examples, just recognizing the connection between their thoughts and their feelings could be used to break the cycle of worry. But this automatic cycle isn't always a bad thing, because it is in fact designed to keep us and others safe from harm. So take, for example, the woman who experienced headaches and she had maybe lost a loved one in the past due to a brain tumor. So this being the case, rather than minimizing her pain and trying to just simply address it with painkillers or bed rest, she instead contacts her GP to get a professional opinion to rule out any major concerns. Now, in this case, her initial thought and subsequent anxiety led to her taking action which could have actually been life-saving for her. So the real concern is when our thoughts become so powerful that they create cycles of anxiety which stop us from functioning on a day-to-day basis. And this is where it can help to have some strategies to address them. So in this video, I'm going to share 3 basic techniques that you can use to tackle worrying thoughts that lead to anxiety and that prevent you from performing at your best. So let's dive in. Hi, I'm Nick, and I'm a husband, dad, pops, registered counsellor and certified coach with tons of experience of helping busy professionals to improve mindset, improve well-being and improve performance. And on this channel, I share tips, ideas and practical tools designed to help you manage, grow and succeed in life. If you're committed to your ongoing personal development, which I'm sure you are, and you really want to take steps to living your best life, then you're in the right place. So subscribe and click on the bell icon so you can be notified of any future videos. But before we get into it, if as part of your personal growth, you'd really like to get more clarity about how you want your life to look in the next few years or so, then download my free 5-step guide to creating your ideal future. There'll be a link to it in the description. Right, the first and probably easiest of the 3 distraction techniques is physical activity. Now, the benefits of physical activity are really well known in relation to improving mental health and your general feeling of well-being. From the release of feel-good hormones like dopamine, endorphins, serotonin and oxytocin, to the use up of adrenaline, which can cause you to feel tense and stress in your body, physical activity is a really great way to manage stress and anxiety. And though some of our go-to physical activities might include things like playing sports, walking or jogging, weight training or swimming, acupuncture and meditation have also been found to help with releasing endorphins. But physical activities don't actually need to be physically exerting, which is really helpful because they'd also need to be appropriate to your context. I mean, you wouldn't start doing burpees or squats in the middle of a work meeting when you're feeling anxious, or at your visit to the GP surgery when you're feeling a bit nervous. You could, however, simply fiddle with a pen, an item of jewelry, or a paperclip, for example. Each of these simple and non-exerting physical activities could help with distracting you from the cause of your anxious thoughts and feelings. And if you ever get stuck for other ideas of physical activities, you could try, tidying your workspace, reorganizing your wardrobe, or doing some DIY. And the added bonus of things like these is that you might also complete some long overdue tasks on your to-do list. A second distraction technique is to take notice of the things around you, or to pay close attention to your surroundings. Now, this can be especially helpful if you're concerned about physical symptoms in a social setting. As an example, you might be worried about people noticing that you're, shaking, speaking faster, sweating, or out of breath. These physical symptoms could lead to you becoming more self-conscious and uncomfortable, and then more anxious, and so the cycle continues. But in paying close attention to your surroundings and refocusing the direction of your thinking, you'll take the focus of your attention away from yourself, which can help with reducing your anxiety. Now, where you are will determine what you can focus on, but to give you an idea, if you're in a social setting, you could start by, counting the number of people wearing glasses, items of jewelry, or laced shoes. or you could look at the patterns or shapes in the decor of the room. In another context, it might be helpful to count the number of yellow cars you drive past, or registration plates with the letter G in them, or the number of speed cameras en route to your destination. And it doesn't have to stop with what you see, as by using your other senses, you can also heighten the level of attention you pay to your surroundings to further take away the focus from yourself. For example, you could start taking notice of what you can smell, hear, feel, and touch. As you'll know, what you focus on will depend on your context, but the brilliant thing about this second distraction technique is that all you need to get started are your senses and your environment. In other words, everything's in place for you. Okay, before we move on to the third distraction technique that you can use to help manage your anxiety, please take a second to just let me know if you're finding value in this video by clicking the like button. Your click lets YouTube know I'm offering something of value, so do me a huge favor and click the like button now. Thank you. The third distraction technique for helping you with managing your anxiety is mental stretching. Yes, stretching your brain through mental exercise that requires lots of effort is a helpful way of tackling worrying thoughts. For this, you could use things like mental arithmetic, recalling extracts from a favorite film scene, reciting poetry, or imagining what you'd like your dream home to look like. The idea here is really to push your brain to the limits. But for this technique to be most effective, it's really important that what you're thinking about is both interesting and relevant. So for one person, this might mean imagining a musical score, and for another, the steps to a choreographed dance routine. So the more detailed your mental stretch, the less energy and focus you'll give to the thing causing you to worry, and the more chance you'll have of breaking your anxious thinking cycle and reducing your levels of stress. Okay, there you have it, 3 basic distraction techniques that can be used to manage your anxiety. Here's a quick recap. 1. Get physically active, as your body will naturally release chemicals that will help improve your mood and use up any adrenaline that's making you tense. 2. Refocus your mind, as when paying close attention to your surroundings, your focus will shift from the thing you're worried about, especially if that thing is you. 3. Stretch your brain, because if it's busy working on a taxing mental exercise, guess what? It will be less likely to give energy elsewhere. Okay, we've reached the end of this video where we've looked at 3 basic distraction techniques that you can use to help tackle anxiety. But I have a question for you. What techniques would you suggest? I'd really love to hear your ideas and thoughts, because there may be things that work for you or others that you know. So please leave your suggestions in the comments. Also, if you found this video helpful, please click the like button, share it with a friend, and subscribe. And also, while you're at it, click on the bell icon so you can be notified of future videos. Thank you so much for watching. Rooting for you. Be well.